Welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast. We're so excited today. We are feeling all of the spring love in the air, and we are here to talk about the Spring Fever lineup from Hallmark that they gave us this year. It was a pretty good batch, I think, and it's going to be really fun to talk about. I'm Rachel, and we have two very special guest co-hosts today. We have first our friend Laura.
Hi.
Hi, thanks so much for coming on the podcast.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, and then we have our very good friend Caroline.
Hey.
Yes, this is so much fun to have you guys back on the podcast. You both have been on once before, and for people that maybe haven't listened to those episodes, Laura, why don't you introduce yourself just a little bit to our audience?
I'm in my 30s. I'm from New Jersey.
Great. And how did you become a Hallmark fan?
In 2013, after watching Snow Bride, that really started my Hallmark.
That was the catalyst, huh?
Yes.
Very good. Caroline, what about you? You want to introduce yourself to our audience?
Hey, I'm Caroline. I'm from South Carolina, and I started watching Hallmark around the same time as Snow Bride came out too. So.
Yeah, Snow Bride. It's the way to our hearts. And so we're going to start with Flip That Romance. This movie is about rival house flippers Jules Briggs and Lance Waddell renovate dual sides of a duplex and rekindle an old romance. And this stars Julie Gonzalo, Tyler Hines, and it had a really stacked supporting cast. It had Pauline Egan, Cardi Wong, Shannon Chan Kent. It had Crystal Lowe briefly seen. It had a stacked cast. Fiona Vroom was in it. And it was directed by Mark Jean, who's done a ton of Hallmark movies, and was written by our very good friend Nina Wyman. So very, very fun movie. Very, very fun cast and crew behind this movie. So, Laura, what were your overall thoughts about this one?
It was one of my favorites. I really liked Julie and Tyler. Thought they had good chemistry.
Yeah, I think so too. What was your overall thoughts on this?
I liked it too. Like, Tyler Haynes is becoming one of my favorite Hallmark hunks. So
yes,
anytime he is on the screen is good with me.
Yes, it was so good. I really, really enjoyed this one as well. And he's just so confident. I think that's what makes him really sexy.
Yes.
He knows what he wants and he goes for it, and it really works. And he just feels different than any of the other Hallmark leading guys, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the facial hair was good too.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
What do you think about that? They had facial hair on almost every leading guy.
I was all for that.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan. Like, in general, I prefer a clean shaven look in a guy, but they were, at least it was like a very, very clean cut.
Yes.
Beards. There was nothing too scrappy.
Yes.
Nick Bateman's was probably the closest to looking a little scrappy.
Yeah.
Gotta shave that. Although they did get rid of Andrew Walker's very quickly. It's like, oh, now we know he's ready for love. He shaved. Yeah. But very good. So yeah, I agree with you. I thought that it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. I liked the dynamic between the two of them back and forth. I thought they had really good chemistry. And we got to talk about the amazing moment of the near kiss. Was that the most incredible thing you've ever seen?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I was like, oh my gosh.
Because what they did, audience, if you haven't seen this movie, you should definitely stop listening and watch it right now because it was really good. But what my favorite part was they were like eating Chinese, hanging out, doing the renovations, talking, and they get so close to kissing, and the phone rings, and I'm like, oh, how many times have we seen this before? and then they kept on kissing. It was so romantic, and he looked at his phone and he's like, nope, I don't have time for that. and then she picked up and talked to afterwards, and I was like, wow, that was incredible.
Yeah, I like that moment too.
Yeah.
Me too. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was amazing. I was so excited. Everybody on Twitter was like, what?
Yeah, that was. I loved watching see the reactions and stuff.
Yeah, right. That was really, really fun. What did you think of, they had a huge cast for this movie, and there were a lot of people. I was surprised because like Pauline Egan was just there for like one scene. And did you think it maybe got a little bit cluttered, or how did you think they used the supporting cast? What do you think, Caroline?
I like the supporting cast, but like I would like to see more of Pauline and Crystal Lowe.
Yeah,
a little bit more.
Yeah, me too. Laura, what do you think of the supporting cast on this one?
Same. I would like to see a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, I think the one we got the most of was Cardi Wong, who was great.
Yes.
I really liked him in this. And we've been trying to push Hallmark. They should make a movie with Cardi Wong and Laura Miyata is our couple in the movie. That would be amazing.
I would love that movie.
Right?
Yes.
It would be so good. We can get Nina writing on it right away.
Go Nina.
Yes. What did you think of the whole sort of plot device of them giving the permit papers to the realtor, and then the realtor giving it to another person, and then that person taking it to the permit office, and then it getting lost in a drawer or something like that? What did you think of all that shenanigans? What do you think, Caroline?
I was at first I was like, oh my goodness, this is the storyline. I was like, oh goodness, but I liked it, but I wish it was. I wish it was a little bit better. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's a little far fetched.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did you think that she was justified, Laura, in her sort of frustrations with him at the end when he got the workers for the paint? Should he have waited to talk to her about it, or was she overreacting?
I thought she was justified. I got her. Like, I understood her.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, especially with their past. I mean, I was kind of frustrated because I felt like she sort of accused him without talking to him about it at all. But he definitely, they have that history, so you can kind of understand her perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of that, Caroline?
I agree with what you like. I was like, they should talk about it, but again, like the history with him not talking to her about things.
Yeah.
Talk it out.
Yeah, that's right. Just calm down. Everybody calm down. Yeah. What did you think of the different renovations? Did you like his better or her better? What do you think, Laura?
I liked hers better.
Yeah. What do you think, Caroline?
I liked hers better too.
Yeah, me too. It's all around. We all agree. I didn't really like that copper. It wasn't my favorite.
I didn't.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
Yeah, I can see how other people would like it, but I don't know. I thought it looked kind of weird. But yeah, I don't know. I guess in reality, like usually different people don't own parts of a duplex, but that doesn't really matter to me. I'm fine with that. And so it felt reasonable enough in the workings. And I just thought that they had nice chemistry, and I thought they did a much better job in this movie than they did in Love and Design, in my opinion. It actually felt like they were actually renovating a house, whereas in Love and Design, I think maybe because that house was so old, or they were probably super limited on what they could do. So they spent so little time in the house, it didn't even feel like a design show to me. And yeah.
I like this one better than Love and Design.
Yeah, me too.
Definitely. Yeah, and I think that Nina did a really good job with her comedic banter. Like it was fun, the scene where he's they're in their room and he just comes through the wall.
That was so funny.
Like in reality, there were probably like some insulation there stuff, but who cares? It worked. It was really good. So, all right. Well, Laura, how many crowns would you give it? Flip That Romance out of 5?
5.
Oh, good. Very good. Caroline, what about you?
4.
Okay. I'll also give it 4. I really did enjoy it, and especially because of that kiss. That definitely gave it huge bonus points because that was the best. And I have it at number 5 right now in my rankings for the year. We have seen, amazingly enough, we've seen 25 movies right now from Hallmark. I have not watched the most recent Murder Morning Show Mysteries, so we've really seen 26, but I haven't ranked it yet. So yeah, so 5 out of 25 for Flip That Romance. I have it just under Love, Romance, and Chocolate, and just above another from that we're going to talk about. So very good. Okay. Next up, we have Love to the Rescue. And this movie I was really excited about because I'd interviewed the writer, Sarah Montana. And I don't know if either of you got to listen to that interview.
I listened. That was powerful.
Yeah, it was one of my favorites I've ever done because she has a TED Talk where she talks all about her experience in being able to forgive the person who murdered her mom and brother, which is obviously just horrible. But I was so moved and so touched by her words. And I don't know, just made me really excited to hear more from her and see what she's going to do. And I think that she's going to be a huge talent for Hallmark. And so I was really excited going into it. I was rooting for it. And I also interviewed Haviland Stillwell, who has a supporting role. So that was fun. And so I was pulling for this movie. And I'll ask you guys first before I share my thoughts. Laura, what were your overall thoughts on this one?
I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Nikki's one of my favorites. So any movie of hers I seem to enjoy.
Yeah, do you think she had pretty good chemistry with Michael Rady?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Caroline, what did you think of it?
I loved it too. I love Nikki DeLoach. I had dogs. And it was in the South. So everything I love.
It checked all of your boxes.
Yes.
Very good. Very good. Well, I had kind of an unusual experience with this movie because so I am a Rotten Tomatoes approved critic and I see a lot of movies, and I had I've been trolled before and I've had people hate my reviews, of course, but there's nothing like the experience of being one of only 3 negative reviews on a major franchise film, particularly DC and Marvel superhero movies. People feel very passionate about their superhero movies. And anyway, I didn't like the recent movie Shazam. It wasn't for me. And I had posted my review, and I was one of only 3 and the only woman who didn't care for it. Now there's more, but at the time that was the case. Now there's like 30 of us strong. And anyway, I got super bad cyber bullying situation, and I got death threats and I had to call the police, and it was just a really stressful situation. And so I was pretty upset, and I hadn't slept for 48 hours because of just all the stress. And so my brother was trying to like get me to calm down so that I could get some sleep. And he was like, why don't we watch a Hallmark movie?
Oh.
And I was like, I want to watch a Hallmark movie. It'll be perfect. And so we put on Love to the Rescue, and it really was perfect. I calmed down. I was just so happy. And I was telling my brother, I'm like, isn't this just a great movie? He's like, yeah, it's a great movie, Rachel.
A good brother, though.
Yes.
Watch it with you.
Yes, he was so sweet to me, and so I say that out front that, I mean, none of us can separate our own life experiences from the films that we watch. It's all part of it. It all comes together. I mean, you try to be as objective as possible, but that's to be completely objective is impossible. We all have our own life experiences that shape our views. But I just share that because I think it really goes into what makes these movies so special and so much fun, is that they are that kind of release. They are that reminder that there's goodness and joy and happiness and love. And it really reminded me, because sometimes you can be kind of clinical as a podcaster because you're covering so many, and you forget the magic sometimes. And that was a good example to me of like, oh, these really are the best. So anyway, I loved it. I thought it was amazing.
Yes.
And I thought it did a few things that these movies typically don't do. Like Flip That Romance had the near kiss, which was amazing. But I liked the fact that she was had an interesting job. She wasn't a chef or a baker or a chocolatier, or some kind of in marketing. You see that a lot. That she was an animator, and I love animation. So that was perfect. And, she was really committed to her job. It wasn't just a joke. And all the people in her office were so sweet and funny and great. And I liked the fact that she had this great relationship with her ex. That was very unusual for a Hallmark movie to have, that they were co-parenting and, present in their child's life. And I thought that was very special and unique. And he's a widower, of course, which we love. Widowers. And, their kids were really cute, and it wasn't all that manipulative. Like, it felt believable that these two people sharing this dog would get to know each other. And I guess I haven't even read the summary, but I'll read it. It's Love to the Rescue. It's when two families want to adopt the same rescue dog. Single mom Kate faces her fear of falling in love again after agreeing to shared custody of the pup with single dad Eric and his son. And so, Caroline, did you feel like they did a good job with kind of balancing puppy time and kid time? What did you think about the puppies and kids in this one?
I loved everything about the puppies and the kids. Like, it was a good balance, and I love seeing those kids together. It was so cute.
Yeah, they were so good. They kind of reminded me of kids we used to see more of in Hallmark in Christmas movies that were like scheming and trying to get their parents together and stuff. That was fun. Yeah, Laura, what did you think of the dogs versus kids balance?
I thought it was good.
Yeah. It was so sweet. I loved that dog. That dog was so cute.
Yes.
It was really fun. And it would probably be somewhat discouraged for them to share this dog. But hey, it all worked out in the end. Did you guys like that element of having her ex be kind of involved? Did you think that worked?
I loved having the ex involved. Like, I love seeing that in the Hallmark movies now. There's been a couple movies that have the ex-husband or whatever involved. I like that.
Yeah, I can think of like Autumn Reeser's summer movie.
Yeah.
Can't think of what that one was called. It had some weird name.
Yeah.
The barbecue with Season of Love or something like that.
Season of Love. Yeah.
The barbecue movie. I liked that. Yeah. I hope that they keep doing that because a lot of couples do, and that's a good example to show.
It's not so catty all the time with the ex. So
right.
Like that.
Right. Yeah, and I liked, the supporting cast in this as well. And so I hope they keep using Haviland. I think she's really sweet. She was the head of the shelter, I guess. So
yeah,
a lot of fun. So, and Sarah Montana she was one of Nikki's coworkers.
Oh, I love that.
Fun. Yeah, she had a cameo. It was just fun. So, all right. Well, Caroline, how many crowns would you give this?
5.
Oh, very good. 5. I love it. Laura, what about you?
4.
Very good. Okay, I'm going to give it 4.75 crowns. It was so good. I loved it. And I have it at number 2 in my ranking. I don't know if anything's going to beat One Winter Proposal. That movie was amazing, in my opinion.
That was a good movie. Yes.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. Both storylines and the wedding, the proposal was perfect. So I have One Winter Proposal at number 1, and I have Love on the Menu at number 3. So I'm right there with you.
And I have the same ranking, but the One Winter Proposal and Love on the Menu are flipped.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're so good. Oh,
yes.
Very good choice. Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to A Brush with Love. This starred Ariel Kebbel and Nick Bateman. And it was written by a team of writers. We kind of misspoke about that in our preview show, but one of them, the one we had, was Joa Boken, who we've had on the podcast twice. And so I didn't mean to give anybody the slight in their work. But this is, as she considers giving up on her artistic dreams, Jamie paints a vision board that brings her success and love, only to discover that the mystery man in her painting isn't who she thinks. This was very poorly kind of marketed, and I think that explanation is weird as well.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah. Because it made it sound like I was expecting, even from the preview show, they made it sound like she painted somebody and that person came out of the painting and was like alive.
Yes, that's what I was hoping for. I'm like, oh man.
And instead, he was like her sister, her friend's. Instead, he was her friend's brother who she hated. It was totally different. And the perfect guy from her vision board, I guess, was very minimally involved. But it wasn't her creation from her painting.
It was just confusing, like the whole summary and everything.
Did you feel that way, Laura?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good. It wasn't only me. That's good. Do you think it would have been better if we had gotten the person coming out of the painting being alive?
Yes. That would have been cool. Different.
She's a very good painter. She paints Nick Bateman. Who I think Nick Bateman is very dreamy. I mean, all these guys are dreamy, but he is so handsome in my opinion.
Yeah, he is.
Yes.
Keep doing Hallmark movies, Nick Bateman.
That's what I tweeted and I'm like, keep them coming.
Yes, please. And so if anybody is looking for their next great idea for a Hallmark movie, there you go. We've already got it.
Yes.
Give us the painting, person coming out of the painting being alive movie. Anyway, but I still actually really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was really cute. And I thought that Ariel Kebbel and Nick Bateman had kind of a fun chemistry. What were your overall thoughts, Caroline, about this movie?
I like this movie. Like I was so happy to see Ariel back in the Hallmark movie. Yeah. That was like the main pull for this movie. I was so excited.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. Laura, what about you? What do you think of it?
I thought it was cute.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you think that they had decent chemistry? How did you feel? Or would you rather have gone with the perfect guy?
I thought they had good chemistry.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Caroline?
I like the chemistry. It was good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I liked that other guy too. I kind of wish they had, yeah. I mean, I liked the actor, and they it's kind of nice sometimes when they do, like in The Sweetest Heart, where they had sort of 3 romances all going on at once.
Yes.
I think that might have been kind of a fun way to go with this, but I liked their chemistry. It was pretty fun, back and forth, the opposites attract kind of a thing. And he seemed to always know from the very beginning that she'd come around. She just needed to get over it. And that it would be fine. This was directed by Peter DeLuise, who is, of course, the best.
Yes.
And he's, done The Birthday Wish and Harvest Moon and tons of When Calls the Heart. And so that's really cool. Cute little back and forth. The banter, I think Joa did a really good job with that. And there, I thought they built up sort of that sexual chemistry kind of well. Although I just about died when they got so close to kissing at the very end. It was even like the last 2 minutes, and then she like put her hands over his mouth, and she was like, "We have to hit pause," or something like that, and then to go see the art or whatever. I was like, what? Nobody, no human being, no female. Not even just no human. That to Nick Bateman would you just have a kiss, and then kissing doesn't take a long time. This is not a long experience. What? I don't know. That was really funny to me.
That was fun. That was funny.
Yeah. But they also went crazy with this movie with the fake flower placement. It was really funny because I watched Isn't It Romantic? And the oversaturation, the colors and the fake flowers everywhere is in that movie. They might as well be satire of spring fever. I was showing it to my friend and just showing him a clip. And I was like, see, does that look exactly like Isn't It Romantic? Like, whoa. It was really funny. But anyway, so Laura, how many crowns would you give this one?
3.
Mm-hmm. Very good. All right. Caroline, what about you?
3.
Very good. I'm going to give it a 3.5. I would definitely watch it again. I enjoyed it. And I have it at number 10 in my ranking. I have it just after Just Had Romance and just before The Story of Us. So ended up in the ranking. So, all right. Next, we have True Love Blooms. And this stars Sarah Rue. Yay, we love Sarah Rue. And Jordan Bridges. And I don't know about you guys, but I love The Nanny so much.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that Jordan Bridges with that little bit of gray, that gray streak, he looked so much like Mr. Sheffield on The Nanny. I loved it. It's like, please keep casting Jordan Bridges and keep him with that gray streak. I was a huge fan. It was a big plus to the movie. And I love Sarah Rue. She's the best. Mm-hmm. So this was evidently her idea that she brought to Hallmark, and they were saying on Home and Family that I guess she had a lot of happy memories at a community garden growing up. I think it was either in New York City or in one of like the boroughs or whatever. her parents would spend tons of time at this community garden. So that's how she got the idea. And so it's directed by Matthew Diamond, and he directed Undercover Bridesmaid and a bunch of other TV movie stuff. And the writer of this, Elias, Medias. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, sir. But anyway, he's brand new, so it's exciting.
Oh.
Yeah. And so I think I thought he did a pretty good job. I think it was a really fun little movie. And it had mostly a new cast. And I loved I forgot to write down their names, but the two old people.
Yes.
Was that the cutest? Oh. They were so funny. They were so cute. You had Team Peppers and Team Tomatoes. Do either of you garden?
I have like just some vegetables and stuff, but nothing big.
Do you ever garden, Laura?
In elementary school, I was in a garden club, and we used to have a garden at our local park, but now it's just bushes.
Okay. I hate gardening. My mom is an incredible gardener, and I hated working in that garden so much as a kid. I was not like Sarah. I don't have fond memories of my time spent in the garden. And I have the worst black thumb. My mom did not bequeath her gardening abilities. I either overwater it or underwater it, or it's just a bad situation. And so I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be finding love at my local community garden. I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon for me. But yeah, it was really cute. I liked all of the people at the garden. They were all adorable. The little plot is spring is in full bloom as urban gardener Vicky fights to save her community garden from a real estate developer. But it's not just the flowers that are blooming this spring, also love. Now, in this movie, they make the very rare choice to have the lead guy be a real estate developer, but he's actually, he's a good guy, and he doesn't get reformed the way that they typically do. And I felt, because as soon as I read this, I thought, oh, another save the whatever, how many we've gotten of those. And this, I felt like they tried to kind of handle it in a little bit of a different way. What about you, Caroline? Did you agree with that, or how did you feel about that?
I agree. Like at first I was like, oh, another save though ...
Right.
But I liked how they didn't. It wasn't like a warm and fuzzy you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They both got what they wanted at the end. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Do you agree, Laura?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so, because she actually had to. I mean, I know it's not quite the same because people are always using You've Got Mail as an example, or Shop Around the Corner, depending on which one you like. But the thing about You've Got Mail is that she actually loses the store. It's actually gone. She actually has to deal with becoming a new person. And that's most of these Save the Farm stories are really boring because they don't ever have to do that. They're in the right. They never have to grow. They never have to change. And I thought that this movie, even though it was a brief window of time, that she actually lost it, at least she lost it.
Yeah.
She had to deal with it. At least there was some loss and some character growth. I thought that was pretty good.
I like that too.
Yeah. And so also, I thought Marta was the most hilarious thing I have ever seen. I loved her. And I'm actually interviewing her tomorrow. I'm not sure when it's going to post. The actress, Amy Lo Cicero, I believe is her name. and I'm going to interview her tomorrow, and I'm really excited because I just thought she did so much with such a small role. And Laura, what did you think of her modern design?
It was fun. She was a fun character.
Right? She was so funny. Her it's minimalism.
Yeah, minimalism. That was like,
There was nothing. And she's like, what did you spend it on? And it's like a pole. It's not even a statue. That was really funny to me. Everything she did, and then her just like continual consternation that he keeps getting plants. Like, what is this plant? It's ruining my whole aesthetic. That was so funny, I thought. I think if I was gonna nitpick this movie, I do think that the whole I'm standing in the elevator and I see them hug thing was a little bit of a groaner.
yes.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
It just felt so. I mean, first of all, her character at that spot really should still be pretty mad at him. I felt like she shouldn't even really care that much. She almost seemed more mad about that than she did about losing the garden.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so I don't know. That was just like, ugh. Who cares about that? But it was resolved fairly quickly, so I was willing to forgive it. And what did you think of this idea of moving the garden to the roof? Did you like that?
It made me laugh at first with the autumn movie. I forget the with Jill Wagner.
Harvest
it made me
Wedding.
think of that. Yes, and it made me laugh. But it was cute.
Yeah, that I really liked that movie, even though Amber always jokes that what did they build? They used the TARDIS to make the rooftop huge, this huge field.
Yeah.
But
it was cute though.
It was really cute. I mean, and I couldn't help but kind of wonder, that must have been assuming this is all real, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we're really going to do this, that would have been, I guess they have like service elevators and stuff like that, but I don't know in like an office building if they do, but they must. Picking up all that dirt and all those pieces of wood to make like the frames and stuff and all those like that would be quite the endeavor.
Yes.
Quite the endeavor to do. But I guess he's a big, successful evil man of business, so he has those resources at his disposal. And I know, Laura, did you like that? The reveal at the end, do you think that worked?
Yeah, I thought it was sweet. It reminded me of the end of Just Like Heaven.
Yes, I didn't think of that, but you're right. Yeah, that is kind of similar. That is good. And I thought that their near kiss was so romantic. Like he held on, like he sort of touched her hand, and they were like leaning, the way they were kind of leaning across the garden thing. Like it was really cute. I liked it.
That was.
Yeah, and then you hear her friend, and you're like, no, it was so close.
Like, just do it real quick. Just do it.
Yeah. And there was the whole party scene that I thought was really nice. You get to see him all dressed up fancy, which was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And her coming in with her beautiful, I think it was blue dress, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think blue.
Yeah, that looked really good with her hair and everything. And like, ooh. I always like that moment in Hallmark movies when, or not even just Hallmark movies, but romantic movies when it's like, ta-da! Here's our leading lady looking amazing. Did you think they had pretty good chemistry, Jordan Bridges and Sarah Rue? What did you think, Caroline?
I liked their chemistry. It was sweet.
Yeah. I think I'd see them in another movie.
Mm-hmm. I like Jordan Bridges too. So.
Mm-hmm. Me too. Me too. What do you think, Laura, about them?
I thought they had good chemistry. I would like a sequel or to see them in another movie.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see them in a Christmas movie. I think it would be so good.
Oh, that'd be
Yes.
awesome.
Yes.
I think Sarah Rue would make a great sort of relative of Santa in somewhere.
Oh yes, we need another Santa Christmas movie.
Yes. She kind of reminds me of the girl in Annie Claus a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like you can do something. We can kind of get Nina wrote Annie Claus. We can get her working on it.
Yes.
Yes. She could be Annie Claus's sister.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be perfect. They both have red hair.
There you go. Need to start writing.
I'm going to text her right after this podcast. So, all right. Well, very good. So, Laura, how many crowns would you give this one?
5.
Oh, good. I know you liked it, but I wasn't sure how much. That's great. Okay. And Caroline, what about you?
4.5.
Great. Very good. I think I will give it a 4.25. I really did enjoy it. It was really good. I have it at number 6 in my ranking. I have it just after Flip That Romance and just before Winter Love Story. So there you are. Very good job, Sarah. Make more Hallmark movies because I loved her first one even more than this. All for
Yeah.
Love.
Oh,
That
me
was just
too.
on earlier. I watched it.
Oh, really? Just today?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that one is so good.
Yes.
When he writes that letter to her, oh,
Oh.
my favorite. And that swimming scene,
Mm-hmm.
oh, so good. All right. So next we have the best movie that you'll see all year. This is what Hallmark told us. And how did you feel about this marketing campaign of Bottled with Love? What did you think, Caroline?
The first time I saw the commercial, I was like, this is not Hallmark. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, it was so weird to me. I was like, what is going on? Like Hallmark usually knows what it is. It knows its place, right?
The critics,
yeah, it knows its lane and it stays in that lane. It doesn't try to. It was just all these critic quotes, quotes of like the most amazing chemistry. It defies logic. How great the chemistry! I'm like, what? It's so weird to me. Laura, did you think that was odd? Those ads?
Yeah, it was pretty odd.
I said on Twitter, I'm like, I like Hallmark better when they're not confident in their product. Like it's weirding me out. I can't. And so yeah, they really were in love with this movie.
Pushing it.
Best.
Yes.
And it was especially odd to me when you have a Hallmark Hall of Fame coming up in 2 weeks. I mean, because Hallmark Hall of Fame is supposed to be your prestige, your best of the year, kind of a thing. It's your money movie or whatever. And so plus even just all of your movies, all your actors can be like, hey, you don't say that about best movie you'll see all year. What?
And the chemistry. The chemistry.
Yeah. I mean, if I were Tyler Hines and Julia Gonzalo, I'd be like, hey, rude.
The Hardys weren't too happy about the chemistry thing.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Right. It was very strange. I would not recommend that they do that anymore. It was not. I can't imagine that maybe it worked, but you can only do it once.
Yeah.
Because if every movie they're like the movie event of the year
for Christmas.
Get your DVRs now. You'll never forget it. And so anyway, that was weird. But in the end, Caroline, what was your overall thoughts of Bottled with Love?
I liked it, but it wasn't like earth shattering. You know what I mean?
Yes, I agree. Yes. What about you, Laura? What do you think?
Yeah, I liked it, but It was just okay for me.
Yeah. Do you think that the hype hurt it, or it just is what it is?
Yeah, with me, sometimes hype can like taint a movie for me or a TV show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know it can. I mean, I just knew for sure that it wasn't going to be the movie event of the year. So it didn't really impact me too much. I was just kind of baffled by it all. But anyway, yeah, I totally get that. It was just so odd. I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it. It's not my favorite movie I'll see all year.
Yeah.
But that's an impossible standard for a Hallmark movie to achieve. Part of it was because they wanted to do the whole Aaron Krakow thing. Like, well, we better push this, kind of make it an event.
Yeah. I was honestly more excited about the Aaron thing than but anyway.
All happening while watching this movie. And I did think that Andrew Walker and Bethany Joy Lenz had nice chemistry together, and I do think that this is the best Andrew Walker movie since Snowed In.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
I love Snowed In, but
Snowed In was incrable.
Yeah.
The best. I mean, they even had a music video, so you can't top that.
I forgot about that.
So they have this whole, and I have to say too, when I first heard Andrew Walker talking about, oh, we made You've Got Mail, I rolled my eyes so hard because so many people try to make You've Got Mail and they all fail. But I have to say, I think they did a pretty decent job because they both they had their kind of work life and then they had their writing life.
Mm-hmm.
That's the core of what the You've Got Mail, shop around the corner kind of story is supposed to be about. That you're working and you don't get along. Your work relationship is bad, but you're writing, you fall in love with each other. That's who you are. And I think that they did actually a pretty good job of that dynamic. There's so many that fail at that dynamic, in my opinion. And and I think that they had a pretty good little dynamic between the two of them back and forth as these sort of coworkers trying to find the next big business to buy or whatever for his company. I was a little bit unclear of why he came back in the first place. I guess just to help his sister out.
Mm-hmm. I was wondering that too.
Because he seemed perfectly happy, like being Mr. RV man. So I didn't understand why all of a sudden he came back.
I think the dad wanted him back, and the sister used her sister leverage to get him back.
Yeah. What did you think of this guy that they go and visit? And he is so offended about this comment about his sweater.
That made me laugh.
I'm like, wow. You give up the whole sale of your company over this comment on your sweater. I'm gonna work on your business skills there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they end up at that Apple place.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking a little bit, is this a Fall Harvest movie to begin with? With it. And then when she finally finds out that it's him, because of course he finds out much sooner, and she is very offended. How could you do that? How could you write and do all this? Because he gets her all the things that she likes and all this stuff, and she feels like he lied to her, which is always a bit of a groaner for me when there's this liar reveal. How dare he do nice things for you? How dare he find out what you like in advance? I don't know. But I guess before we talk about that, we should talk about the pancake scene. How did we feel about the pancake scene?
Oh,
I like the pancake scene, but I like pancakes. But
yeah, Laura,
it was cute.
what did you think?
I really liked it. It was my favorite scene.
It was so cute. It was
Yeah.
adorable. I absolutely loved it. Although I do have to say, I really like it, to see any human being who can have any pancakes. It's like a regular dish. It's not like an eating competition. That was a lot. There were like 10 pancakes stacked up high, but it was really cute. I loved it.
It was cute.
Yeah. But yeah, then she gets all upset. And this after he has decided he's going to, they put in their offer, and the plan is it's for him to run this apple orchard, and it's going to be great, and he's going to be happy. And so she's really, really upset. And then they both end up being really depressed. And then they're at, I think it was their friend's wedding.
The sister's wedding.
Sister's wedding. And he sets up all of these lights, and he gives her a letter. And you gotta love a great dude letter in these romantic comedies. There's nothing ever since Darcy himself. He wrote that letter, and you just gotta love a man pouring out his heart in a letter. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was really, really good. And although I would be slightly annoyed if I was your sister. Like,
I know.
Could we not do that on my wedding?
Stealing the thunder.
Yeah. Could we do it the day after the wedding? Or after the rehearsal or something like that? But it was really, really cute. And they had a pretty nice, little kiss. And I did like it. The kiss on the cheek.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
That was really cute. That was really good. That was a good near kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of kiss on the cheek. So there we go. It was a pretty fun movie. And so I will give this movie 3. I gave it. I'll give this movie 3.25 crowns. So, Laura, what will you give it?
4 crowns.
Okay, great. And Caroline?
3.75.
Very, very good. I have it at number 12 in my ranking. I have it just after The Story of Us, and just before Emma Fielding, More Bitter Than Death. So there we go. All right. Last one that we're going to talk about is Easter Under Wraps, the first Hallmark Easter movie. Can you believe, Laura, that it has taken us till 2019 to have a Hallmark Easter movie?
No, I can't believe that.
It's shocking, right?
Yeah.
What? Yeah. And were you pretty excited, Caroline, about an Easter movie?
I was like, I really, I had to think about it. They really haven't had an Easter movie before. I was like, this is weird.
How did you feel about the incorporation of Easter into the movie? Because
it was cute, but like I felt like it could have been a Christmas movie, but then they just changed it out for Easter.
yes, because it was really just a candy movie. It wasn't an Easter movie. They had that one scene where they were kind of at that festival, whatever, where there were games and stuff going on. But I feel like there needed to be more of a hunt in the movie, more of an Easter egg hunt component. Like, I don't know, maybe if their relationship was a little bit further along, she could have like found a ring in the egg or something, and then he could have proposed.
Oh, that would have been good.
Right? So if you're working on next year's Nina, if you're working on next year's Easter movie, incorporate an egg hunt and have a ring in your Easter egg. But I don't know, there just could have been more like dying eggs and more, I don't know, it just felt like it was not very Eastery to me. Very Eastery. So that was kind of like, But I love Fiona.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
She's a delight. And so she was great in this. Brendan Penny was fine. I didn't think that they had especially great chemistry. But she was just so lovely.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and I had some issues with the movie, but my first thing, like I said, they needed more, because it really wasn't that different than, say, Love, Romance, and Chocolate.
Yeah, and Christmas. Is it Christmas in Love? Is that the Dan?
Oh,
Listen
yeah.
movie? It reminded me a lot of that.
Yeah, it was a lot like that, except for without the terrible wreaths. So this one, Erica goes undercover at her family's chocolate plant to see why sales are down when she meets head chocolatier Brian, who has new ideas on how to update the Easter product line. And so my problem with this movie, why I didn't really think it worked, is, aside from the chemistry and the lack of Easter, is that he was such a baby. I'm sorry. You got undercover bossed. You're just going to have to deal with it. I thought that his reaction was way over the top and ridiculous. And if he's really, this doesn't seem like the biggest company in the world. This is not Hershey's here we're talking about. It seemed like a family chocolate company. So the fact that he didn't know who the daughter of the president of the company, who also is the head of marketing for the company, the fact that he didn't know, and he's been pitching products for however long and never had any success, I just thought, give me a break. What? I don't know. So it didn't work for me, all of that. But I don't. Caroline, what about you? What were your overall thoughts about this one?
I agree. It was, some of the parts are like, this is not believable, even like a Hallmark movie believable, you know? So, but Fiona, I love Fiona, but
she's the best.
The guy could, any other guy could have been in it and it would have been fine, you know what I mean?
Yep. Laura, what did you think?
I love Fiona.
Yeah,
she was the best part.
Yeah. We definitely agree on that. This was directed by Gary Yates, who has done a ton of Hallmark movies. One Winter Proposal, Once Upon a Christmas Miracle, Pearl in Paradise. And I think that it just got too sort of caught up in the whole liar reveal, and I think they thought that we were gonna, become that was gonna work better than it did, but it just made him seem kind of, especially once he'd basically introduced this woman to his daughter, and I don't know, it was weird, but I don't. So I'm trying to think if there was anything else. The other thing that was just bonkers in this movie was the idea of these big giant eggs. Okay, at best, this is kind of a novelty. Who would buy this? It was so weird to me, because not only do you have to kind of destroy the art to see the inside art, but that kind of chocolate doesn't taste good. That kind of decorating, it's kind of like, you don't want to eat a gingerbread house. That's gross.
That's true.
Right? And I wouldn't want to eat this. And I'm thinking, how on earth is this going to save the company? It was so odd to me. This was just like a few decorative giant Easter eggs. It was an odd thing for them to focus on, I feel like. Would you agree? Yes.
Yeah.
It was. I can't think of a person in the world who would want to buy a giant chocolate egg like that. I give this one, just because of Fiona and how delightful she is, I'll give it 2.75 crowns. I have it at number 20 in my ranking. I have it just after Chronicle Mysteries, Vines That Bind, and just before Chronicle Mysteries Recovered. But Caroline, what do you think? How many crowns would you give it?
Because of Fiona and that adorable little girl, I was like 3.
Yeah. Laura, what about you?
3.
Yeah, very good. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on, talking about these movies with me. I really, really appreciate it. And Caroline, where can people find you?
Twitter is Meta Caroline R, and Instagram is MC Richardson _3_. Excuse me.
Great. And Laura, where can people find you?
Twitter at Laura Ann Marie, but there's 2 E's at the end.
Great. And I'll have that in the description section, so people should definitely check it out. Make sure you're following them because they're amazing. And make sure you're following the podcast, all of our social media at Hallmarkies Pod, and give us your ratings and reviews on iTunes. We really appreciate it. And if you're listening on YouTube, give us your thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate that as well. And make sure you check out our interview with Nikki DeLoach from this week. It was so much fun. We covered so much ground. I couldn't believe how many things we talked about in an hour, and it was just amazing. And you can follow me at Rachel's Reviews all over social media and on iTunes and YouTube. I'd love for you to check that out. I have my review of Avengers Endgame up right now on my YouTube channel. So if you're looking for that, check it out. I'd love for you to do so. So thanks so much, girls. I really appreciate it. And we'll have to have you on again. It'll be so much fun.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.